This was me 5 years ago. I was in one of the best shape of my life, coming from 250 pounds. And this is me now, 220. So using the knowledge that I have gained from losing over 80 pounds, I'm going to apply it to my situation right now and get myself back to 180, which is about 50 pounds. And I'm going to show you guys all the basics on how to track your calories, how to determine what to eat, how to diet yourself, how to cut weight, how to put on muscle while in the deficit. And without further ado, let's hop straight into the video. So the first thing we have to understand is, what is calories in, calories out? I know a lot of people on the internet, a lot of fitness influencers say that. The easiest thing to do is check it for yourself. So go on to Google and just search up a BMR calculator. I think it's going to be like the first link in the description. Just click that and it should be something like this. So just put in your information. So I put in my information, and for the rest of the video, we're just going to base it off of this. So I'm age 24, 5'11", weight 220. For my BMR, the calories I need in a day without doing any exercise is 2,000. And for someone who does exercise about 4 to 5 times a week, I need about 2.9K calories a day. So we're just going to go off the number 2K. I'm going to make things simple, but this is what I need in a day, and I'm going to reference for the rest of the video. We have to understand, where does calories come from? So the three things that calories come from is carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. So carbs, every gram of carb makes up 4 calories, every gram of protein makes up 4 calories, and every gram of fat makes up 9 calories. Most people are going to say cut all the fat out, but fat is good for you. Let's say like if you're eating ground beef, like that fat is good for you. If you're eating avocados, that fat is good. But you just gotta be a little careful if you're gonna center your diet around like high fats. I know there's like keto where you eat high fat and high protein. That diet does work. I never tried it, so I can't tell you my opinions on it. But once you understand how, what makes up calories, we have to learn how to track and read labels. So in this right here, this nutrition label, this is for a Quaker Oats rice cake. If you look right here, 11 grams of carb, barely any protein, no fat. So let's do some math. 11 times 4 is 44. That's 44 grams. Sorry, it's 44 calories. Has less than 1 gram of protein, so I'm not even going to count it. That just shows you, nutrition labels aren't the most accurate. I think you could look at Doritos too. I think it's like, if you do all the math, like Doritos nacho chips one, it's 260 calories for one serving, but if you do the math, it's 253. And what makes things easier is just basically putting all that information into a tracking app like MacroFactor or MyFitnessPal. So I personally really like MacroFactor. I used to use MyFitnessPal when I was getting in shape, but right now I use MacroFactor. I personally think the UI looks more aesthetic because it just looks better. Pretty much that's it. Now that we really know how to count the calories, where calories come from, now we know how to track it. Now that we know our BMR, we can determine the amount of calories we should eat, right? And you just track your food, make sure that number is below your BMR or near it, close to it, and that's how you lose weight. But I'm going to go more into it on how exactly do we do that and how to gain muscle during this time and how to avoid being hungry. And losing weight is basic math. If your body needs 2,000 calories a day and you want to lose weight, you just eat a lot less than that. Let's say your goal is to lose 4 pounds or 5 pounds a month. Let's just make it easy. Say it's 4. So 1 pound of fat, 1 pound of weight is 3,500 calories. So you need to lose 500 a day, which is 500 times 7. So 500 a day, which is 3.5K calories. So in a week, you'll lose 1 pound. And then you do that for every week. That means you lose 4 pounds for the month. Now, if you want to be a little extreme, you could double it and make it 8. I think anything more than 8 to 10 is a little extreme. The reason we do this weight loss, this fitness journey is for it to be sustainable. It's a lifestyle. And every time you reach a stagnation point, the weight that is dropping slows down a lot. you just drop your maintenance calories from maybe 2,000 to 1.9, 1.8, and you just keep going from there. Another thing is adding in cardio. So let's say you want to keep the amount of food you're eating. Let's say 2,000, but you still want to lose weight without sacrificing the food. I would say add in a little bit of cardio. This way you're still in a deficit, but you're still eating the same amount. For the time when I was losing from 250 to 170, I didn't really add in cardio until like the last like 10, 20 pounds. Like I dropped from 250 to about 190 with pure food dieting alone. And that's why a lot of people say gains are made in the kitchen, because the diet amounts for 80 to 90% of how you look. This is just, I added a burger image right here because you could just straight up eat 2,000 calories of a burger and still lose weight. It's just calories in and calories out. It's not. There's literally someone who did, he did Twinkies. He did Twinkie diet and he still lost weight. Of course, he didn't feel the best, but he still lost weight. And that just proves this point is calories in, calories out. The most important thing for us is how do we build muscle? How do we lose weight and still build muscle? And it's by keeping our protein intake high. That means for every pound of body weight we have, we should do a 0.8 to 1 ratio on the amount of protein to eat. Let's say this guy right here weighs 200 pounds. 200 times 0.8 to 1. That means 160 to 200 grams of protein is what he should be eating. I would actually take it up a notch and do it from 180 to 200, because protein keeps you full for longer periods of time. So I would just keep it around there. Just by understanding this alone, you're already better than 99% of most people. And I know there's a lot of people who go like, oh, I don't even eat that much a day. I'm not gonna count the food. You know, I'm just gonna eat less and lose weight. But here's the thing. I know people who say they don't eat that much, but let's say in the morning they go get coffee, they get some milk, sugar in it. That coffee alone is 300 calories, 400 calories. And then they're gonna drink 2 or 3 of those a day. That's already 1,000 calories. Let's say you go get McDonald's. You get a Big Mac, you get some fries, you get a drink, Coke, right? That meal alone is close to 2,000 calories. That's already 3,000 calories. And then they're gonna buy some snacks and then just binge eat throughout the night. Close to 3.5 to 4K calories already. That is why you're still gaining weight. Think you're not eating much, but you still are. And that's why it's so important that people understand how to track the calories. By understanding what you put in your body, you get a better measurement of what's happening. This is gonna be the biggest tip though, which is low calorie substitutions and what to just cut out of your life to make things a lot easier. And this is for the ones that want to be more serious and actually want to succeed and get in shape. One is cutting out high calories. For example, you could go get bread like brioche buns, or you could get that low calorie bread and go make some French toast, like protein French toast. Brioche bun, definitely not filling you up. That one bun is probably like 300 calories. Or you can make protein French toast that is also 300 calories that fills you up in the morning. I would definitely pick the French toast because that was what I did for my breakfast for 9 months in a row. Things like high in fat, like using oil, count the oil. If you just do a glug and you cook in that, that's already 200-300 calories alone. 1 spoon of olive oil is 120 calories. Stuff like dairy, processed food, chips, candy. Just by cutting out sugar alone, you'll be in a better mental state. Cutting out all the dairy is very high in fats. If you go to McDonald's, go get a McChicken, and you cut out the mayonnaise, you save like 90 to 110 calories. Or when you fry an egg, when you cook an egg, if you take out the yolk, that accounts for 80 to 90% of the calories already. You just save so much. Same thing for soda. Go get seltzer, flavor seltzer, or diet soda. And I'm gonna hear a lot of people say, oh, diet soda is so bad for you. There's literally research that shows unless you're drinking 70 to 80 cans a day, then it's harmful. I'm pretty sure no one's gonna be drinking that many a day. Don't quote me on that. I know there's some insane people out there. Cut out alcohol, substances, drugs, smoking, all that out. You smoking weed creates munchies where you want to eat things. Or alcohol, you get drunk, get bloated, dehydrated, all that, and it damages your liver. I remember when I was 232, 235, and as soon as I cut out alcohol out of my life, I dropped 10 to 15 pounds just like that. Just by cutting out alcohol alone will put you in a better state. Now that we know all this and some food hacks, we want to be able to maintain this lifestyle for the rest of our lives. And how do we do that? How do we not turn out like me right now, 220? And it's by doing things that is sustainable. When I cut down from 250 all the way down to right here, I think I actually leaned out more than this, but I got down to 170. I was very strict on my diet. I lost 80 pounds in about 9 months. All I ate was rice, tilapia, rice ground beef, potatoes ground beef, and rice and chicken breasts. It was not sustainable. I remember going to a bumper car or like bumper car thing, and it's called Motor Raceway, I think. But anyways, I went there, and before we were going in, I'm with my friends. I have like just box of rice and chicken, and I'm just shoving it down my throat. And I still remember this day. My friends still remember. I think they got a video of just me gagging, and I just eat it again, and just keep doing it. That was one of the reasons also why I couldn't continue with the diet, because I was just making food I didn't like. The whole purpose of getting fit and being in good shape is eating things that you like while keeping that weight off, and just finding those alternatives. Live your life. Yes, unless you're doing bodybuilding show and you need to get in super dialed and eat those foods, you don't need to do that. But by switching out the options for low calorie foods and just cutting out sugar processed, cutting out all those bad substances, alcohol, you're gonna be way better than a lot of people. But this is the strategy that I'm gonna use all right here. Basic understanding, eat more protein, substitute for low calorie foods. And this is what I'm going to use to get myself back to prime time from, right now, 220 David. I'm going to document the whole thing, show what I'm doing. And if you guys have any questions that I couldn't answer in this video, please drop a comment below. But, just leave a like, subscribe. And if you guys have any further questions or, want to talk to me, you can book a call down below. I'll leave a link to my calendar. But that's all for the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.